Hello there boys and girls, it's me again. I thought I would do a wee sort of questions and answers video. I've been promising one for ages, so thought I would give it a wee try. Before I do that though, I'd like to say sorry about the quality of the video last week, the van one. I've uploaded it in high definition. Something's happened at YouTube's end. They've told me that I've been on at them this morning again, and they've told me that it's getting resolved, but it's an issue that's not solely to do with me. It affects other YouTubers as well apparently, so they are working on it. I did try and upload another version of it, but they've kicked it out because it's a duplicate video, so we'll just need to wait. They says hopefully it'll be fixed within the next 48 hours, so fingers crossed. They did promise me that same 48 hours on Friday night though, so we won't hold our breath. Anyway, my fiance is going to read out the questions and I'm going to try and answer a few of them as best I can, so let's see how we go on. So what's your first question, Amy?
Mario says, how often do you clean your car?
Right Mario, the truth is not often enough, probably about once a month. Reason being that when you clean other people's cars all day, the last thing I really want to do, to be honest with you, is spend the evening cleaning my own car. That said, it never gets into the sort of state that some of the cars get into that you see on my videos. It's always generally pretty clean. So I do try and sort of keep on top of it, even if it's just giving it a quick wash and a vac out when it needs it, but it's pretty decent.
Okay, Ken says, what brand is the silicone spray you use on the car interiors?
The silicone spray I use, generally speaking, is Autoshine Berry Blast. I do use a few other ones. There's one, the local shop sells an Armour All one, I think actually, which it's pretty decent. What I will say is, silicone spray I tend to find it's all the same stuff. The only difference is that some of the cheaper ones tend to be really thick and they go on sort of lumpy and thick and look horrible. A wee tip to that is if you just put it in some hot water first before you use it, the tin in some hot water, it'll thin the silicone out and it'll spray on a lot easier, a lot thinner and a lot more evenly. But apart from that, if you want to spend the extra few quid and buy a professional product, I would highly recommend the Autoshine ones, definitely.
Dante says, can you team up with Car Cleaning Guru? You two take cleaning very seriously.
Teaming up with Car Cleaning Guru, that would be okay, wouldn't it? Yeah, I'd be up for that. Perhaps he could do the outside of the car and I would do the inside. I don't know how it would work. If you want to do that, if he wants to do that, get in touch with me, Car Cleaning Guru or whatever. Definitely. Next question.
Jay wants to know, if you have limited time, money and skill, what area of the car would you focus on?
Limited time, money and skill. To be honest with you, it doesn't take a lot of money, time or skill to give a car a quick wash and a vac out. Quick wash and a vac, I'll get rid of 80% of the dirt on a car. Just a vacuum in a car makes a massive difference. And a quick wipe down over the dashboard and stuff takes minutes. Do that once or twice a month and you're golden. If you just keep on top of a car, they won't actually. If you can do minimal maintenance so long as you do it regularly. You don't have to do massive big cleans any more than twice a year generally, I don't find. So long as you keep on top of it in between.
Simone asks, what did you do before auto detailing?
Simone, before I did detailing, or valeting as it's known here in the UK really, I qualified as a car mechanic. The reason I chose to go into valeting was simple really. I had always done valeting as part of the mechanics. It sort of goes part and parcel when you work in the garages. When you're not busy you end up cleaning the cars that are for sale or whatever. When I moved to Blackpool, I wanted to go self-employed and I just couldn't afford all the tools to start a garage. It was a lot cheaper to start a valeting base, so there I am. That was 11 years ago and I'm still doing it.
Josh wants to know, what steam cleaner do you use?
Steam cleaner for interiors, I use a Karcher steam cleaner. It's pretty good actually. Holds a couple of litres of water in it, and it's got a really long hose on it, and it's got multiple sort of ends for the wand. I only really use the one end, maybe with the brush adapter sometimes, but it's good. If you look up Karcher, they've got some really good steam cleaners. Also, who's the other people that do steam cleaners? Pulte. If you look up Pulte, they do some really good steam cleaners as well. I used to have a Pulte steam cleaner, that was good. The Karcher one's just a little bit bigger.
EasyJetter says, how many cars do you wash and clean a day?
Well, EasyJetter, that's a bit of a hard question, that, because it varies from day to day. If it's a day where I'm just doing washes all day, I'll probably do 10 to 15 sort of washes really. And if it's a day where I'm doing valeting, I'll probably do 3 to maybe 4 full valets on a busy day. Full valets being sort of wash, wax, interior shampoo, vacuum, dressing the plastics and doing the windows. So a couple of hours really for each one.
Bailey wants to know, what's your name, where are you from, and are you married?
Bailey, yeah, my name is Gary. I'm originally from a wee place called Hamilton in Scotland, but I now live in Blackpool in England, and I'm not married yet, but I'll soon be married to the lovely Amy, whose voice you hear reading these questions out. Heart's breaking all over the world right now.
Absolutely. Right, Michael wants to know, what cars do you drive and what cars have you had?
What cars do I drive? Well, we've got an Audi for the family car. I've got an M3, an E36 M3 Evo, which is the sort of Euro spec one, as a sort of track car, sort of weekend car toy. And I've got the van that you seen in last week's video that's still in low definition, unfortunately. I've had multiple BMW M3s, E46s, Civic Type R's, Ford Focus, I've had loads of different things, Clio Sports, stuff like that. But yeah, best car I've ever had though was a Civic Type R EP3. It just did everything right, it was great. Till I crashed it. Bad weekend.
Webwide says, are you going to do more fix and clean videos like the ones featuring the BMW?
Fixing, yeah, I do. I'm planning on doing a few more of them. It's just trying to find the cars, to be honest with you. For me to do a video on a car, it's got to be dirty first and foremost, because I want the channel really to focus on the sort of cleaning aspect of things. The repairs are just an extra really. If I can find a car that's dirty and needs mechanical repairs, then brilliant, even better. So I'm planning on doing more of that stuff, but it's just as and when the cars come up. Some of the cars that you'll see the videos on is cars that I've bought myself and then to sell on. And some of the cars, in fact most of the cars are actually customers' cars that have came in, maybe they've been auction trade-ins or whatever, and they're going to retail or whatever. But yeah, answer to your question is, yeah, definitely I want to do more of those videos as well.
Okay, is that Jack053 says, what makes you get good business? He's got his own cleaning business and he's struggling for business at the minute, so what should he do?
Well, to be honest with you, when I first started, getting business in is hard. What I always found works was social media and stuff like that was okay, but it was a bit hit and miss. What always worked though was going out with leaflets and posting the leaflets through letterboxes yourself, because not only do people get a physical thing in their hand that they'll maybe put on the kitchen worktop and they'll go back and they'll see it as they pass it, but quite often they'll see you coming into the garden and they'll come out to meet you to see what you're doing, and you get talking to them and you leave a sort of an impression on them. Just make sure you know what you're talking about and you're prepared for any questions, because there's nothing worse than if you get asked a question and you don't know the answer, especially when it's something you're supposed to be professional about or a service you're trying to sell. Make sure you know what you're talking about. Hope that helps.
Craig Nuke, any tips for getting yogurt out of seats?
Craig Nuke.
I don't know if I've said that right.
Craig
I don't know if
is that his username, Craig Nuke?
I don't know.
I wonder if there's a place called Craig Nuke in Scotland. I wonder if that's where he's from.
What's the second? Is that got a second part to it? Craig Nuke something?
No, the place is just called Craig Nuke. Anyway, what was the question?
Any tips for getting yoghurt out of seats?
Yeah, just clean them. The problem with yoghurt, as in milk sort of stuff, is it's not so much getting the stain out, it's getting the smell out, isn't it? You need to really, in order to get rid of the smell or the bacteria that causes the smell, you need to use like an enzyme cleaner or something like that, and that basically kills the germs. What it does is it kills the food that the germs eats the food that the germs would eat, so the germs then die. You can actually buy enzyme cleaners in any pet shop, believe it or not, because they're also used for like cleaning up like dog's mess and stuff like that. So dog wee and stuff, it's the same product. Get some enzyme cleaner. You'll get it for your car cleaning store, but you'll also be able to get some in your pet store if you ask. Use some of that.
Mr. Techie wants to know, what was your first car?
Well, Mr. Techie, my first car was a Mark V Escort, and it was an absolute powerhouse. It was a 1.3 litre 4-cylinder, and I think it had 50 horsepower or something like that. But I thought it was the fastest thing in the world when I was 17, I really did, and it was great. I'd done 100,000 miles in it or something like that over 3 years. It was a brilliant little car.
Simon wants to know what your favourite car cleaning product is.
My favourite car cleaning product? I must say G101. It's an all-purpose cleaner from Autosmart, and it's so versatile as a product. It's really good. I'm using a multi-purpose cleaner at the moment for Built Hamber, though. That's also really good, but I think the G101 for Autosmart has just got the edge, because I think it's just that little bit stronger if you're doing anything like engine degreasing and stuff like that. The G101's fantastic for it.
Cryptos says, what is a magic eraser and where can you buy them?
Magic Eraser is it's basically just a name they give to it's called a melamine sponge. Is the product is called a melamine sponge, melamine, something like that. If you look up Magic Eraser's melamine sponge on eBay, there's tons of people selling them, and they're really cheap to buy, but they're brilliant. If you can buy one for the motor spares shop or somewhere like that, the ones you get on eBay, especially the cheaper ones, tend to faulty, but they'll still work, they just won't last very long. If you get one for your local sort of car care shop or a professional sort of car place, it'll tend to last a bit longer. And they also tend to be a bit bigger as well, so for doing like inside doors and stuff like that, they're a must have though, they really are good.
3RT says, sometimes you jet wash seats and wet vac interiors. How do you get them dry, especially in cold weather?
Jet washing seats is it's a last resort really. I try my best to avoid it. I'll only ever jet wash seats when it's a case of, if we don't get them clean, we're going to have to scrap them and get a new interior. Sometimes the customer will want to just try jet washing them just to see if it works. In that case, I've got an office up the stairs that's heated, and I'll leave them in the office literally for a week at a time. I'll take them out and I'll leave them in the office for a week, making sure they're dry properly. They need to be dry before you put them back in. If you put them back into the car when they're wet, they'll mould. You'll get mould because the dampness they'll retain moisture inside them, so they need to be 100% dry. So yeah, heated office for a week. Carpets wise, car carpets tend to be plastic backed, so the actual pile of the carpet's maybe 4mm deep at most. It's not very deep at all, and then underneath that there's plastic. So you can generally get them pretty dry just with a wet vacuum extractor, moist water extractor. They'll dry pretty quick, to be honest with you, because they just don't hold that much moisture. Whereas seats, on the other hand, will quite happily hold tons of moisture if you don't let them dry properly. Next up,
Ruth how can I make my car smell clean? Tried air fresheners, candle wax and a few other things, but once the smell's worn off, the car smells bad again.
Well, Ruth, if you've got a persistent smell that keeps coming back after you've put air fresheners and stuff in it, you've got something in the car somewhere that's causing that smell. The air fresheners and things like that are obviously just masking the smell, and once they wear off, it's not that the smell's coming back, the smell's always been there, you're just covering it up. You need to find whereabouts in the car the smell's coming from, and you need to clean it properly. Check in your boot carpet. Boot carpets are prone to smelling bad because what people put their shopping and things in the boot, and things get spilt, milk, whatever, yoghurt, stuff like that, and it smells really bad. Also, people put dogs in their boot and stuff like that. Take the boot carpet out, leave it out, see if the smell goes away. If the smell goes away, then you know it's the boot carpet, and you can either clean it or get another carpet. Sometimes it's just as cheap to go to the scrapyard or the junkyard and get a good second-hand carpet, to be honest with you, than it is to try messing about cleaning one, or paying somebody to clean it. So try that. Carpets on the floor, as I say, like the previous post, they're not very thin, they're normally pretty easy to clean. Seats on the other hand, if you've spilt milk on a seat, or there's a dog maybe weed on the seat, then that can be tough to get out, to be honest with you. But the only way you're ever going to get rid of that smell is by finding out exactly where the smell is coming from and fixing it. Stop masking it. Stop masking it with air fresheners and candles and things like that, because it'll never stay, it'll never work. Who's up next?
60 Seconds of Stevens says, how old are you and how old was you when you became a valeter?
Well, I am 30, I'm almost 36. And when I went full time as a valeter, I was 25, I think, when I went full time. But I've always been involved in the motor trade. My dad had a garage when I was a child, and on a weekend when I was a teenager I would go on a Saturday and I would go and wash the cars and stuff like that. That was my job, to clean the cars after they'd been in the body shop. So that was my Saturday job, if you like. And then when I went into motor vehicle mechanics, when you were quiet there, you had to go and do the sort of valeting anyway. So I've always done valeting, but full time, started my own shop, opened my own place when I was 25.
Craig says, what window cleaner do you use?
I use a window cleaner from a company in the UK called Eurocell, and they're actually a plastics company. They sell like UPVC windows and things like that, so it's a professional sort of grade window cleaner that the glaziers use. The reason I use it, to be honest with you, is because they've got a place 3 doors away from my unit. The window cleaner's good and it's really cheap as well, but it's good stuff. But to be honest with you, with windows, vinegar. That's if you've got vinegar in your house and some paper and some good glass cloths, you'll get your glass. There's no secret to cleaning windows. It's just having a look and doing it properly.
Blatua username says, how clean is your car and your house?
So, Blatua username?
Yeah.
How clean it is?
Your car and your house.
My car, my car's pretty clean. Amy's car's not so clean, to be honest with you, that's another story. But my car's pretty clean. The house is immaculate though, because Amy does keep on top of the house. It's spotless in here.
So Philip says, which shop do you buy G101 from?
Autosmart. It's not so much a shop, it's a franchise business, a bit like Snap-on, where they go round in a truck and they'll sell you whatever you need. So they'll maybe come round once a week and they'll sell you your products. You can buy, if you go on eBay and things like that, there's usually people selling like bottles, maybe litre bottles that they've distilled or whatever. But yeah, if you can, they're all over the world, Autosmart, so I'm sure if you go onto their website there should be one near you really. Just try it out. Normally they're quite happy to sell to the sort of public as well. They're not just limited to selling to the trade. They will sell to the public generally as well.
G-Reg says, do you keep any loose change you find under the seats?
Is that G-Reg or Greg?
G-Reg.
Are you sure?
He might be called Greg, but it was down as G-Reg.
Right, okay. Right, alright. What do I do with the money I find under the seats? It depends. If it's a car that I've bought, then it's mine and I buy lunch with it. If it's a customer's car, then I'll put it back. Once the car's cleaned, it'll go back in the car with anything else that looks sort of valuable or stuff they might want to keep. I'll put it back in the car, in the centre console or something like that. But if it's my car, it's my money. That's the way it works. If I've bought that car at auction, I'm keeping that money. Next up.
Sama or Sama, I'm sorry if I said it wrong. What is a good way to clean leather seats in cars?
The leather repair company, Leather Cleaner. I actually done a wee short video on this not long ago. Leather repair cleaner, exactly like it says on the tin, and a soft brush to clean your leather. Treat it afterwards with a leather preserver or a conditioner. I use Leather Repair Centre do their own conditioner, but I like the Gliptone conditioner just because I like the smell of it. But as cleaners go, Leather Repair Centre in England, it's the best cleaner I've ever used for leather seats. It's really best gentle cleaner. You can use multi-purpose cleaner to clean really oily seats, or even sort of isopropanol, watered down mild isopropanol. You can use that on leather as well if they're really bad. But generally, normal leather cleaner, Leather Repair Centre, leather cleaner is fantastic stuff. Next up.
Abdul Dane says, where is your favourite place in the world and why?
Well, Abdul, home, because that's where the heart is, isn't it, mate? What's up next?
You're not going to elaborate on that?
No, that's it. This is my favourite place. You're looking at
it. Stuart says, what particular process of detailing do you like most and least?
Most favourite part of detailing. I like when I've done a paint correction on a particularly bad car and I'm finishing it and I'm putting on the final coat of wax, or I'm buffing the final coat of wax off, and you can see the fruits of your labour when the paint and if it's a metallic paint and the metallic's just popping. I love that. It's great. Especially if you spent a day or two machine polishing a car and it's monotonous work machine polishing. To do it properly, it's tedious, but it's worth it. But the final half hour when you're just finishing polishing the wax off and just doing the wee detail bits, I love that bit. My least favourite bit is when I'm starting a really bad paint correction because I know there's a full day or a full day and a half or whatever of just buffing paint. That's my least favourite bit, to be honest with you. But at the end of it, it's good because it's a job that the more time you put in and the more effort you put in, the more you take your time, the better the results will be. I can't stress how much you can't rush a paint correction. Do it right. Take your time, do it right first time.
And finally, Frank wants to know, what vacuum cleaner do you use?
Well, Frank, final question. The vacuum cleaner I use currently is a Henry by a company called Pneumatic. In fact, the wet vac I use to extract seats and stuff like that if I've shampooed, that's a Pneumatic as well. They're just they're really reliable products. They're just brilliant. Check them out. Hope you enjoyed that wee video, guys and girls. And I'll see you later. Say bye, Amy.
Bye.
Catch you later.
Bye. Bye.